I need you to hear something before you go any further. Not because it will make everything immediately better. Not because it will dissolve the weight you've been carrying or answer the questions that have been keeping you up at night. But because there is something happening in your life right now that you are in danger of misreading. And misreading it could cost you everything that's been building towards you. You are closer than you have ever been. Not in a vague, comforting, meaningless way. In a specific, structural, unmistakable way. The kind of close that feels, from inside it, like nothing is happening. Like the effort isn't working. Like the belief is running out. Like maybe you've been wrong about everything, and it's time to accept a smaller version of what you thought your life was going to be. That feeling is a liar. And I know that's easy to say. I know you've heard versions of this before. I know there have been other moments that felt like they were about to break open and then didn't. And every time that happened, it took a piece of something from you. A piece of the belief. A piece of the willingness to hope. A piece of the energy it takes to keep going when the evidence is thin. I know. But what I need you to understand is that this moment is different. Not because I can see your specific circumstances, but because of what the accumulation of everything you've been through has been quietly building toward. And if you stop now, if you put down the belief now, if you close the door on what you've been moving toward now, you will stop just short of the thing that was always going to make it make sense. Don't stop now. The first thing, the darkest moment of the night is the one just before the light. This is not a metaphor, this is physics. This is how cycles work in nature, in seasons, in human life. The moment of maximum darkness, the moment where everything feels most impossible, most uncertain, most like nothing is ever going to shift. That moment is structurally, almost always, the moment just before everything does. Think about the times in your own life when things finally turned. Really think about them. Not the easy shifts, the gradual improvements, the slow climbs, the real turns, the ones where everything changed. What did the moment just before the turn feel like? It felt like this. Exactly like this. Heavy. Uncertain. Like the waiting had gone on too long. Like the belief was almost gone. Like you were at the edge of giving up on something you had been holding on to for longer than felt reasonable. And then something shifted. It always shifts at that edge. Not before it. Not comfortably in the middle of the waiting. At the edge. Right where you are now. The darkness you feel is not evidence that the light isn't coming. It is the evidence that it is. Second, everything you've invested is about to return. There is a particular kind of exhaustion that only comes from sustained effort with delayed return. From showing up consistently, doing the work, making the sacrifices, holding the belief day after day, week after week, longer than you thought it would take, and watching the results fail to match the input. And that exhaustion starts to whisper things. That the investment was a mistake. That you've been pouring into something that isn't going to give anything back. That the people who chose easier paths, safer paths, the paths that didn't require this much from them, that maybe they were right and you were wrong. But here is what you cannot see from inside the exhaustion. Investment doesn't return on a linear schedule. It accumulates invisibly, building beneath the surface, and then it returns all at once. And usually at the exact moment you were closest to walking away from it. The relationship work you've done on yourself. The skill you've been developing in the dark. The version of your life you've been quietly building while everything around you seemed uncertain. None of it has been lost. None of it has been wasted. It has been accumulating, and it is about to return. Not in pieces, not gradually, all at once, in a way that will make the entire investment suddenly, unmistakably, worth every single difficult day it cost you. Hold on just a little longer. Third, the people who made it through were the ones who stayed when it made no sense to. There is a version of this story that plays out differently, where someone gets to this exact point, the exhaustion, the thinning belief, the edge of giving up, and they put it down. Not because they were weak, not because they were wrong, but because the human mind, under sustained uncertainty, eventually reaches a threshold, a point where the rational case for continuing stops being visible, and the rational case for stopping starts to look reasonable. And they stop, and they never find out how close they were. The people who built things that mattered, the ones who created the lives that actually felt like theirs, the ones who look back with deep, unshakable peace about the path they walked. Every single one of them has a version of this story. A moment where stopping made complete sense, where the evidence for continuing was gone, where the only thing that kept them moving was something quieter than logic and more stubborn than reason. A refusal, not heroic, not loud, not certain. Just a quiet, exhausted, persistent refusal to fully let go of the belief that what they were working toward was real. That refusal is what you are being asked for right now. Not more effort, not more certainty, not more evidence that it's going to work. Just the refusal to stop. Fourth, what's about to break open has been building for longer than you know. There is something you need to understand about how transformation works at the deepest level. It does not announce itself in advance. It does not give you a timeline or a progress update or a preview of what's coming. It builds silently, accumulates invisibly, reaches a threshold that you cannot see from the outside, and then it breaks open, all at once. In a way that looks sudden from the outside, but was anything but. Every conversation you've had that shifted something in how you see yourself. Every quiet decision to keep going when stopping would have been easier. Every morning you got up and showed up even when nothing confirmed that you should. Every time you chose growth over comfort, honesty over performance, your own knowing over someone else's expectation of who you should be. All of it has been building toward a threshold, a breaking point. Not the kind that breaks you, the kind that breaks open, that cracks the surface of what has been and lets what is becoming finally come through. That threshold is close, closer than it has ever been. And what breaks through when it arrives is not going to look like what you've been waiting for. It is going to look like more, bigger, more aligned, more unmistakably yours than anything you could have planned from where you started. But it cannot break open if you stop now. It needs you to stay. Just a little longer. Just past this moment that feels like the end. Fifth, you were built for what's coming, not for what's behind you. I want you to consider something that might be the most important thing in this entire video. The version of the future you've been working toward. The life, the relationships, the sense of purpose, the peace you've been moving toward. That future was not designed for the version of you from 2 years ago. It was not designed for the version of you from the beginning of this season. It was not designed for any earlier draft of who you are. It was designed for this version, the one that has been through exactly this, the one that carries exactly what this season has built, the one that knows what you now know, sees what you now see, has the depth and the discernment and the quiet, unshakable knowing that could only have been developed through exactly the path you have been walking. You are not behind. You are not late. You have not been wasting time in this season. You have been becoming the specific version of yourself that the next chapter requires. And that version, you, right now, today, is exactly ready for what's about to break open. Not almost ready. Not getting close to ready. Ready. The only question is whether you will be present when it arrives. Whether you will still be here, still open, still willing to receive it, or whether you will have put it down in the last moment before everything changed. Stay. Take a slow breath. In through your nose. Hold it. Let it go. And say this out loud. Every word. I am closer than I have ever been. What's coming has been building toward me, and I am not going to stop now. Again. Like you mean it. I am closer than I have ever been. What's coming has been building toward me, and I am not going to stop now. Because you didn't come this far to stop here. You didn't survive everything you've survived, carry everything you've carried, keep going through everything that gave you every reason to stop, to quit in the last moment before the breaking open. Something is about to shift in your life. Not someday, not eventually, soon. In ways you cannot fully predict, cannot fully plan, cannot fully prepare for. Because what's coming is bigger than what you've been imagining. Stay open, stay present, stay willing to receive what has been building toward you. Don't stop now. You are so close. If this found you when you needed it most, leave one word in the comments. Breaking. Just that. Because you are at the edge of something breaking open, and naming it is how you step toward it. And if someone in your life is at the edge right now, exhausted, close to giving up, running out of reasons to keep going, send this to them. Not with an explanation, just send it. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for someone is reach them in the last moment before they stop. Don't stop now. What's coming is worth everything it took to get here.